What's up, what's up, what's up? Just if you're in here, house. Okay, so I want to continue on my video series with about maintaining your sanity in relationships with Japanese women. Oh, looks like they're having a flea market or something over here. Anyway, I got a message from one of this guy who is in another group I'm in. And he watched my videos, or I don't know if he exactly watched my videos. I think maybe a little bit, but not everything. I don't think. And he unfriended me, right? Which is cool because that channel is not a good channel for him to be on anyway, because he has a business, and I'm sure, like a lot of people, I'm not saying a lot of people, some people, they just put everything on one Facebook channel, and that's not a good idea, because especially if you got customers or sensitive friends, because they might associate you with the thoughts of your friends and stuff, which we all know that is not necessarily true. So anyway, he wrote some stuff. I don't exactly remember what it was. I mean 100%, but the things that he wrote about, I want to talk about those. So first, he said that I'm racist against Japanese women, and I'm like, you can't be racist against a woman. You know, you could be sexist, but you know, talking about my videos aren't talking about Japanese women in a negative way. Actually, I'm praising them and saying what they're doing and how they're controlling the men out here, controlling the relationships out here, and just pretty much dominating is a beautiful thing. It's a good thing. I mean, you can only compliment them, because it's something that I haven't ever seen in my 55 years, you know, and you know, on this earth, and I've never heard of it, you know, and I mean, it's just, and it's, how can I say, it's what's the word? I can't think of it. But it's such a large proportion. You know, I mean, you can almost say it's 100%, but it definitely seems like it's 80%. You know, it could be 100%. Actually, it really could, except for, you know, the guys that are single. But then maybe they're single because they understand what's going on. So, I mean, so if you want to include that in it, I mean, it's at such a dominant, you know, rate. It's just really incredible. You know, and it's nothing bad. I mean, it really is nothing bad. Now, I saw somebody made a video about something being overrated or something like that, but Japanese women are not, I wouldn't say, you know, they're nice. They are nice. A lot of things that you hear about what they do is true. They're funny, they're fun, exciting, all of that stuff, you know. But when they get married, it just changes into something really different, or you know. So anyway, I had made this thing on there. I put a thing on there, I think in one of my I had uploaded that one of my old videos, Starbucks Convos, and I wrote some stuff in there, and it was basically saying how in Too Short songs, because I always refer to Too Short songs when I'm talking about Japanese women in a positive way, or I wouldn't even say talk about Japanese women in a positive way. When I talk about guys and try to and try to help them gain control over their own lives, because basically a lot of these guys are in some kind of mental slavery, you know, or mental captivity or something like that. Because I've spoken to a lot of guys who have problems with their Japanese wives, and they say that you know, I asked them, I said, well, if she was an American or from your country or from your neighborhood, would you go through this? And they all, 100% of them say no. And then I asked them, well, why you come all the way to Japan to go through this? And they all start laughing. And it has to be this, it's either mental, it could be emotional, because some of these women, I mean, a lot of times, a lot of guys really don't really pay attention to the way they look, because sometimes you'll have these handsome guys with these women that you're like, wow, come on, man. Or you have these beautiful Japanese women with these guys that you're like, oh God, girl, what are you thinking about? Why are you with him? But over the years, I soon found out that it didn't really matter what the guy looked like, because the women already know what they want from him. And it's like, I put it up, I put that on that same Facebook page and or post, and about Too Short, I put the name of the song too, and I think I put the name of the song, and in the song he said, you're a fool and all this stuff, and he said these women already know what they want from you. And I just started laughing, because I've heard that a lot of times, but it just didn't hit me until I listened to it the other day, and I started laughing, and so I put that up, and it's true, and so the guy, he kind of like got upset, I guess, or something like that, and didn't like me putting it up there. And then also he was saying like, well, if you're having problems with your wife, that's fine, but me and my wife is fine, and all this stuff. And I'm thinking like, why is he making it personal? I'm not even talking about the guys who have good relationships with their wives, which personally I don't think they're too many, especially foreign men. But what I mean by that, let me explain, is that a lot of guys, they get beat down by their wives mentally and emotionally. A lot of times the sex stops. A lot of these guys, when they get these women, a lot of them are like acting real cool and stuff like that, but they don't understand that a lot of these women, they're already prepared for all of that stuff. It don't matter how cool you act, what you wear, how you sound, or anything, because you still have to work, you still have to make money, you still have to eat, you still got to clean up your house, you still got to shower, you still got to do the basic things that every human being have to do. And because of that doesn't put you in any other special character, category, that's different from anyone else. So anyway, he was saying like, well, if you and your wife are having problems, I'm sorry, but me and my wife we have a good time. But I know darn well, almost 99.9% that him and his wife are probably not having sex. Okay. She's probably controlling, if you got a good business, she's probably controlling all the finances, because that's what they do. And I'm almost sure that probably what happened was maybe his wife, I think she's very fluent in English, and she probably saw it, heard it, and got mad, because some it's this thing out here called 10, I think it's Tokyo Expats or something like that, network. And this guy was talking about how he wanted to take someone out to dinner, some girl out to dinner, and Japanese day out to dinner, and someone suggested that he pay, that some restaurant in Ginza was like, I don't know, $400 to $600 or $300 to $600 for two. And I'm thinking like, whoa, wait, just for a date? And I'm like, nah, man, you better off taking her to Mossburger, because it's a luxury style hamburger. They all go there anyway, and you take that money and you go travel, and get some experience and see the world, And I think maybe someone made a comment, and then I started, spreading a little advice about how Japanese women are. And like I said, it's not a bad thing, it's a good thing. But these guys are like totally oblivious to what's going on. So a lot of guys come over here and just get dogged out. And I don't have to, I hear it's all on the wait, hold on. Anyway, forgot what was that, but basically, so anyway, let me talk about the Too Short thing again, because that was really interesting. He was talking about my wife. And so when I make videos, I always like to include my personal life, my personal information, so it doesn't seem like I have no experience in it, because I go through things too. I'm not perfect. If I was perfect, I would have definitely not be talking to you guys right now. I've had a lot of opportunities to do things where I could have been already rich and things like that, but I passed up a lot of stuff intentionally, left things intentionally and stuff like that. I don't know why I do that, but you know, life is an adventure, and I don't know. But anyway, he was saying, like, again, you know, maybe I was having, just because I'm having problems with my wife, you know, doesn't mean, you know, he's having problems. And I don't know, it was really interesting. You know, it's like he was trying to say he was sorry that I'm having problems, and, you know, and he got really, you know, really offended. And I was like, wow. But I think what it was I probably, somewhere in there, it kind of struck a chord, maybe. Then also in my video, in that post, I said, keep it pimping. And so I guess a lot of people, he's not American, so I guess everybody should know what a pimp is. You know, a pimp's in every country, I'm sure. But the word pimp is also means to, you know, stay focused, you know, stay on the grind, you know, be stern, not be stern, but, you know, don't slip, you know, don't mess up, you know, and pay attention. And so I got this thing where keep your foot on their neck. I think I said keep your foot on their necks, but keep your foot on your neck the hardest. And basically, it means that keeping your foot on their neck means basically to put them in check. You know, so when you get ready to go out, so it's like this. I was in this one bookstore a long time ago, and it was the first time I heard this. I wasn't aware of how Japanese women were. I was also married. I had been divorced. The reason was she said she fell in love with some guy from Sri Lanka or something like that. I don't know if it's true or not. So she wanted to divorce and marry him. And I was like, fine, because I didn't marry for love. Thank God I never married for love, because a lot of marriages, when they go sour, and if you marry for love, your heart is in it, you know, and then you break your heart. It's like terrible. So I just got lucky 3 times not to marry for love. But just because you don't marry for love don't mean that you don't love your wife or you don't appreciate your wife or anything like that. But it's just that you don't invest so much in it, because there's because the return or the failure can be such a dramatic thing, and you can get your heart broken without even getting divorced. You know, you can stay with your wife all your life, and or your wife can stay with you all her life, and you still can have your heart broken plenty of times. So, and just luckily, you know, I never had that problem, that issue. So anyway, she said she wanted to leave. I was like, bye, you know, we're still friends, whatever. My first wife, we're still friends. So that stuff really doesn't bother me, you know, in that way, but things happen. So anyway, basically what it's saying is, what it means by keeping your foot on their neck, it's like I said, I went to that bookstore, and I overheard these 2 white guys talking, and one guy was saying, like, hey, let's go out tonight. And he said, oh, I don't know, I have to go home and ask my wife. And I'm like, wow, what did he just say? Did he say he had to ask for permission to go out and meet his friends, you know? And I'm thinking, and at that time, I really didn't know how Japanese women were, because my wife wasn't like that, or if she was, I didn't pay attention to what she said. I just did what I did. You know, when I came to Japan, I acted like I was still in LA, you know, and I acted towards my wife as though I was dating a black woman. You know, I didn't change this Japanese culture. I really didn't know too much about Japan or anything about it. So I just, you know, I came out here, I was on my bike, so then we go around, and I'm thinking, like, how should I act out here? And I'm like, what do you mean, how should I just be myself? I'm just, you know, I look at Japan like it's LA, so whatever, you know. So that's probably how I escaped a lot of stuff, you know, just being myself, you know. So anyway, I was like surprised, wow, this dude have to ask his wife to go out, you know. And then when he said that, his friend was like kind of sad, but I guess that was because he already knew that his wife was, the guy's wife was going to say no. So I didn't really learn what was going on until years after that. I ended up getting married again. Me and my wife, you know, we went through we didn't really go through anything. I think our problems actually just started after she got her hair cut, and then I kind of like really started looking at her more. But she was actually cuter with longer hair, but I don't know what it was. Maybe it's just her neck was exposed. And then I started showing more affection, and then she started changing, you know. So, but when I don't pay her attention, then she, you know, her romance or activities come to me. So And that's how that's how it is, in life, guys. When you chase a girl, she doesn't want you. When you ignore her, she comes to you. So it's like one of those things. And so I was really surprised. So basically, what it is keeping your foot on their neck means basically is when you want to do something and they try to stop you. You say, hey, wait a minute. You're not my mama. You're not my daddy. I'm a grown man. I can do what I want. If you don't agree with it, fine. I think it's going to work, or I want to do this. I'm going to do this. If you get upset, fine. What are you going to do? Just get upset or divorce me? Which one? Either one is okay, because I'm not going to change my life and double think myself, and trip and stumble, because you think something's I shouldn't do this way or that way, because it's almost like a lot of women that I talk to, because a lot of them talk about their husbands or their boyfriends, because I do a lot of listening, and it's almost like they think they're perfect in everything they do, and in their minds they are, but a lot of times, I've known women that say, you should do this and you should do that, blah, 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 my girlfriends, and I'm like, okay, I'll try, and it just work. It doesn't work, and I'm like, forget it, well, it's not going to work, and I'm telling them it's not going to work. It is going to work, and blah, 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 and you don't like me, and blah, 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 like, it ain't nothing about you, and stuff like that. So, so I'm like, all right, fine, I'll try it. I'm like, man, y'all know what, y'all don't know what the hell y'all talking about, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to do it my way, and I just did it my way, and whether I fail or not, it really doesn't matter, because it's on me. Now, I can understand some guys say, well, she's a wife, and she has a family, and she takes care of the kids and all that stuff, but any man can do that. Anybody can do that. You didn't, like these guys out here got degrees, they didn't go to college just to become dumb and don't know how to change a diaper and don't know how to do that. Women, they don't know how to do this stuff at first. Everyone learns. In the hospitals out here, they teach you how to watch your kids when you have babies and stuff. They have classes, teaching women, how to raise kids. They got a lot of, and it's probably worldwide, a lot of online support and stuff like that. So it's not like a woman is born and already know what's going on. And plus, they get a lot of training from their mothers when they're young and stuff like that. And the guys don't get that training. Now, the smart guys, maybe like me and stuff like that, probably already know what to do, but for the most part, a lot of people get trained and stuff. It's like the most Lamont classes came out years ago, and in the States. So anyway, I'll see if I can get this right. Anyway, so basically that's what it means. It means to, hey, keep her in check and tell her, you're the man. You're the man, and you do what you want to do, because that's what a man does. A woman gonna do what she want to do, because that's what a woman does. But it's not a job of a man to let his wife dominate him. That's not even in any religious books that I know of. It's not how it's supposed to be. But in Japan, like I said, these women, they just doing a beautiful job of just, keeping their foot on their necks the hardest and say, no matter what, it's gonna go my way or I'm going my way. And that's what it is. And the men should be doing the same thing. And another thing I say also is the guys should keep their foot on their necks the hardest. And basically what it means is don't give in. If you have something that you believe you should do or that you want to do it. You're only going to live once. When you die, she might put a picture up there, might change your rice. And you're not even Japanese, so she probably won't even do it. You know what I'm saying? And you might be remembered and everything, but a lot of them, they move on. They find new boyfriends. Some probably get married again. From what this one Japanese told me, she said she just married, and she said married to a Japanese guy. She said she just married him, and just waiting until he dies so she can get his insurance money and travel around the world. And she's like in her 30s, and I'm like, oh my God. But then I started noticing a lot of the older Japanese women, their husbands work a lot and they die young, or they die before the wife does, and they the women end up traveling and stuff, and they start enjoying their lives at an older age and stuff like that. And because they still got nice bodies and they're nice, and the image of Japanese women around the world is so good that, they're able to go out and do a lot of things still in their lives. So, I mean, it's not a bad thing. These videos are not designed, like I said, to talk bad about Japanese women. They're just designed to help these guys, stay out of these problems, or at least, get some kind of control over their own lives and situations and stuff like that. So it was just really interesting that he said that. And let's see, what else did he say? And then I think he mentioned something about this statement that Too Short says in his songs, that these women already know what they want from you, and I don't understand why he got upset about that or whatever, but it's funny because in one of his songs, and hopefully I'm not repeating myself, because yesterday I made one and it was really long, but I started drifting off and going off on a tangent about a lot of other stuff, and it ended up being over an hour. So I didn't delete it, but I didn't upload it though. But if you guys want to hear it, let me know and I'll just put it up. But basically, he says that they already know what they want from you, and that's it's true. You look at it. When he said that, I started thinking about it, and it's true, because especially when they meet a Japanese guy, they want to meet one who has a stable job. So a lot of them can stay home and be housewives or whatever. They even might have jobs, but they want that security. You get that money, they take care of it, invest whatever they're doing with it. A lot of them have secret money, have extra money inside that they never tell their husbands. I think that was discovered, believe it or not, Fortune 500, I think it was, spilled the beans on that aspect of Japanese women when they reported about how Japanese women were into this foreign exchange and stuff, and they were making millions, and they even showed one guy on this one Japanese program back in about maybe 1997 or something, and he was into that too or something like that. And this dude had like 3 or 4 bank accounts with over $1 million in each of them, and he was doing that trading or something like that. And I was like, wow, And what happened was, I think it was Fortune 500 ended up spilling the beans, saying that Japanese women were making millions, and they were living just regular lives, they were just living regular lives. They didn't tell their husbands all these millions of dollars they were making. Their husbands going to work, busting their butts, and they keeping their money to themselves, And I found this out, a while ago. I think it was, I don't know when it was. I'm sure it was after I moved to Wakayama when they said that. And I was just literally blown away. I was like, wow, that is, you want to say that it's cold, but, that's just what we call pimping. They doing their thing, the husband doing his thing. And if she's smart enough to make her money, by sitting behind the computer, and he's not as intelligent as her, and he got to sit behind the desk and work all those hours for a small wage, all she got to do is press a couple of buttons here and there, what should she, tell? He's happy, he's happy doing what he's doing, so why disturb him? So I can totally understand that. And it's cold. Yes, it's cold, but a lot of people in the States do some cold things anyway. So, that's just life. It's not nothing unusual. But it was just, I don't know. It was just really weird. And lost track. So anyway, when he said that, I was laughing because a lot of these women, they speak to these, even when they talk to me, they say, I want a guy who has a good job and he's making money. And like I was talking to this student like 6 months ago, a high school student, and it was in one of my classes for like a trial lesson, and she's 16 or 15, and talks about how she don't really like her life, and she So I was like, okay, let me go and ask her why. Even though I didn't want to, I said, I was a trial lesson, free talk. So I'm like, fine. So I said, why? And she just said so she can travel around the world. And I just started laughing. She said, it was funny. I said, no, that's pretty good. But those who know about Japanese women, when they travel around the world, we already know what goes on and stuff like that. Not all, but a lot of them, tend to do that and stuff like that, especially when they're single. They just go out and have fun. And so I just started laughing. I'm like, wow, she didn't say because she wanted to have fun with him, but she wanted to go traveling with him. It was just all on her. Now, some people might call it selfish, but in the game of life, it's like, that's just being a man. You want to do what you want to do. When you play a game, you don't play to satisfy your the next player. You play to win. You play to win. So I was like, okay, cool. They already starting off when they're young. And it's good. That they're able to. I mean, it's good that at a young age she's able to understand that, hey, if you want to have things in your life, you gotta have that money, and how you go about getting it. Maybe she didn't say that she wanted to get it. She just wanted to find some dude that already got it, and then because he's rich, she get married. Then his money is her money, and because it's her money, she gonna do it. All of his money is her money, and because it's her money, even though he worked for it, now it's her money. She gonna do what she want to do, and then he has to ask permission, to use his own money, because she claimed that that's hers. And so, I mean, it's not. Listen, guys, it's not a bad thing. It really is a beautiful thing. It's a work of art, and like I said, it's just, that's how it is out here. And so he kind of was thinking like, I guess he took it offensively, but would you want a woman to be with a woman who doesn't even know what she wants from you? Well, why do you want to be with me? Oh, because I love you, and that's it. And most guys take that and run. But it's not just that. People, they have their agendas. Everyone has an agenda. Okay, why you want to be with her? Oh, because she's beautiful. Oh, because she's a Japanese woman. Oh, because she dressed nice. Oh, because she likes anime like I do, or whatever. But these guys, they don't know what they want. Some guys do, but they don't get it. They want a beautiful Japanese woman. They want to have all these romance and all that stuff. But once you get married, all that stuff ends. And these women, they're so good with psychology that they beat it into these guys' heads that pretty much that she's the mom and they're the kids, and that's how she treat them. They all walking around mama, 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 daddy, papa, and all this stuff. And I'm like, I tell my wife, call me your daddy. You know what I'm saying? Papa and all this stuff. I'm not your father. You're not my mama. And all this stuff. And my wife, she does what she wants to, and regardless, the whole thing, regardless of it, it's fine. I might get jealous sometimes I don't, whatever. But I already know that if I get jealous, it's only because I create an image in my mind and I let it play out to be something that will be an excuse for me to feel how I feel. Otherwise, she do what she want because she's going to do what she want. She went out there, bust her butt, doing what she's doing. That's fine. So it's all good. But she don't control me. I don't control her, and that's it. We have our issues, but it's mostly it's not nothing about sex because we still we still do that. We don't really go out to eat so much or stuff like that. Sometimes we don't even talk in the house. She always talking to the kids, or she's busy. She works 10 to 12 hours. I don't work that much. And I don't even have to work as much as she does. And then to make the money that she makes. I mean, well, no, I would have to work a little bit harder, but still, I can do it. But anyway, so you have to. And I know a lot of guys do the same thing. She might say, "Oh, I'm tired." The wives go home and the husband might want to touch him. She said, "No, I'm tired. I'm sleepy. I had a long day." But when their friends call, like my wife, she all of a sudden get this energy and they go out and eat and stay out all night and talking. I'm like, "Why do you do that?" She said, "Well, I just have to do this, and people come on." But I understand. There's no, it's like a new adventure. You know, if you marry, you already know pretty much what the conversations are going to be like, you know, how they're going to end. And it's just the same routine over and over and over again. So I totally understand that. Now, sometimes you do, I'll ask her to go out. She don't want to go. And then she'll ask me to go out and I'll go. You know, I'm like, what's wrong with that? But, you know, she always has her reasons why. So I like, fine, so I don't ask her anymore. You know, I just go out, do my thing and have my fun, and that's it, you know, because when you go out with your wife anyway and you go have a nice dinner, you know, what do you go out and talk about? I mean, really, what do you talk about? Okay, how was your day? You motherfucker, I just got home from work. You know, what do you want to do today? Well, you asked me to go out with you. Well, I live in Japan. I don't know what to do. Well, you study. Okay, you want to do this? Nope. You want to do that? Nope. You want to do this? Nope. Nope, 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 nope. Because they already did everything that you need to do. You can't entertain a woman in her own country. You know, and I'll tell you, when we went to Hawaii to get married, we stayed there for a week. And we had a good time. Her attitude changed. She was really nice. And I've heard that from a lot of guys when their wives go overseas, they change. You know, so, but living in Japan, you know, it's a totally different thing. So anyway, this guy, I guess he just, he might be one of those. I know for a fact he's one of those guys whose wife pretty much challenged him. Pretty much, what do you call it? When they cut your penis off, what is that thing called? I forgot. But emasculate them or something like that, I forget. But a lot of these guys act like that. Now some guys get mad at their wives and they go out and do other things, you know, because she don't want to. But I'm thinking, why get upset at her? You know, if your wife doesn't really want to do anything with you and she's just there, you know, going through the motions, which is all planned, you know, because she just got to deal with you while you're at home, you know, until you go to work. And then when you're at work, there's no telling what she's doing or who she's talking to or whatever, you know. But while you're there, she's just dealing with it and stuff like that. And plus, there's a status thing, you know, out here that's going on. And I can't believe that a lot of guys, I mean, a lot of guys do see it, a lot of guys don't see it. But there are a lot of guys in here who are just still mad and stuff. So I made those Do You Love Black Men videos only for the purpose of getting guys out to travel. That was it. You know, brothers get out and travel. That was it. Guys misinterpreted into something about sex, but I never said anything about it. If these women gestured anything about sex in the videos, you know, I really didn't notice it, don't notice it, because that's not something I'll even be paying attention to. Some guys did notice some things and told me about it, and I was like, wow, you know, I went back and looked at the video and didn't even notice it. But the purpose of my videos are not to talk bad about Japanese women. They're doing what they're supposed to be doing, and they're doing a great job. I just see it, I laugh, it's beautiful. You know, I go through some things too, but the things I go to, I already know. I can go out all night and come back the next morning. My wife said, where you been? I said, I was hanging out with my friends. You know, I can go out, maybe go to a hotel, whatever, talk to other girls, stay at their house at 5, 6 in the morning, whatever. And I can come home and she said, what are you doing? I can lie. I can do that. But I can go out. You know what I'm saying? Most guys can't even do that. You know, a lot of guys, they're like, well, I don't do that to my wife and all this. But it's not a point whether you can do it to your wife or not. The point is can you go out at night? Do you have to ask your wife? I just like leave. You know, my wife, she just leaves. I just leave. You know, sometimes I might, where you going? She might tell me, she might not. Sometimes she say, well, you don't tell me where you going, so I'm not going to tell you. And I'm like, okay, fine, that's good. It's okay. You know, and sometimes I tell her the same. Sometimes I tell her, you know, I told her the other day I went to Nagoya. I told her I was going. I guess she didn't believe it. She called, where you at? I'm like, I told you I went to Nagoya. You really went? I'm like, yeah, what are you talking about? You know, came home, you know, the next morning at maybe 6:30 in the morning, got in bed, you know, she just rolled up and put her legs on me and stuff, and I'm like, okay, fine, you know, and that was it. Next morning, what time did you get home? I was like, I told her, and that was it, you know. So, but these videos are not, again, you guys, these videos are not talking about Japanese women. They're to help you guys, okay, because there are guys who come out here and they go on these websites and they meet other women, they go out and date with them, and and then they start having these affairs with these women, and some of them divorce their wives and be with these women. And I'm gonna tell you, if you're with your wife right now, she's probably gonna be the best you're gonna get, because if you get another woman and she finds out that you've been divorced, then she already knows that you've been trained, okay? And she's gonna go harder on you, okay? She's gonna go harder on you, okay? And so, I mean, you can divorce, don't get married if you got permanent residence and everything. I would not suggest you get married again unless you just want kids, unless you just have to survive because you can't do it by yourself or anything. So what you do is you already know what's going to happen. You marry a woman and it's going to be the same one. So I would marry someone who is younger, you know, and it would give you a chance to expect the eventual, instead of just getting married to someone who's over 30, you know, because they coming at you hard. You know, these women, they come at you hard, you know, and it's like, if they get upset and they could be wrong, well, they're not going to apologize. You know, that's why in some of my videos I said don't apologize, because they're not going to apologize to you. And pretty much to survive one of their kind of survive in a relationship, they have your own freedom. You know, you just have to act like you're back at home. And I went to a meeting with some English people. I met this one white guy, and he was talking about how his wife and him and this other white dude, I guess he was over 40, the other guy was over 50, and to say that you're still having sex with your wife is almost in a way saying that, hey, you know, I'm still above 50% satisfaction in my relationship, because once the sex stops, then it drops below 50. And it's also a sign that you still have some kind of dominance, I guess, if you want to call it dominance, because it could be because she wants it. Because sometimes these women, they might mess around, but from what I understand, it's that a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them do like sex. And especially the older ones, because the ones that are older, they're the young ones who were back in the old days, where we're just like out there whipping and wilding, you know, just whipping and wilding out and stuff like that. And so they're just older, but they still haven't forgotten, they haven't changed. So, but they just with these guys who they thought were cool, and these guys turned out to be not so cool. And then as you get older, your age, your hair falls out and stuff, and a lot of guys lose their physical shape and stuff, and because they're getting worn down, it's almost like they can't do anything without asking for their wives' permission and stuff like that. And sometimes their wives are like, wow, you know, I got another kid, and you know, if you can't speak Japanese or read Japanese and stuff like that, so it gets kind of tough, you know, on them. And I can understand, because they have a Japanese woman married to a foreign guy who doesn't understand Japanese, and if she doesn't speak that much English, then it's going to get really tough, you know. And it really doesn't matter how much Japanese you speak, because the Japanese you need to speak is usually it's for taking care of business, going out to eat and everything, you know. One guy said you should learn Japanese so you can speak what's in her heart, but from what I understand, from what I was told, you know, Japanese women really don't share their inner thoughts with guys that they are in relationships with, because the relationship is not based on, oh God, I hope you guys heard that, but the relationship is not based on love. It's pretty much based on business, her taking care of the finances and the kids, and making sure the family, you know, the kids go to school, go to college and everything. And I think for sure I've made another video a long time ago where I said that if you do marry a Japanese woman, but even if the sex does stop, you know, it doesn't matter, because as long as you're working, she'll take care of all the finances. You'll be able to go on trips 2 times a month. I mean, not 2 times a month, 2 times a week. Your kids will all go to college and everything. And that's what you want. I mean, in the States, isn't that what we want? We put our kids to college. You know, a lot of families have problems saving. Out here, these Japanese women, for some reason, they don't have that problem where they're getting all this extra money from them to do all this stuff on a teacher's salary is beyond me. You know, of course, I heard, things, but still it's interesting. And maybe their parents, got money. You'll never touch it. You'll never hear about it. It's all hers. And you'll eat. You'll have your suit or two. You'll be fine until the day you die. It's just like the perfect American dream in America. 2.5 kids, 2.5 cars, and however many rooms in a house in a garage. And you get all that. And in those, even in the American dream, there's nothing about romance. There's nothing about, just enjoying yourself. Now people, they started coming out with that later, but again, my videos are not for, it's not to talk about Japanese wives. It's basically to let these guys know that when you're dealing with these women, this is what you have to go through. And these women have a choice to either be with a Japanese man or be with a foreign man. If she's with a Japanese man, she don't have to worry about the Japanese or anything. When she gets sick, he'll be there to take care of her. He'll be there to talk to the doctor. If their wife gets sick or anything like that, are you capable of doing that? So with a Japanese man, she can do that. But some of them don't like Japanese men. Just like some of these foreign guys don't like foreign women or the women in their neighborhoods and stuff like that. I was talking to a friend, to a bunch of friends whose wives dogged them out, and they still in love with Japanese women. I'm like, just get your own. No, because they understand that it's not happening. So it's rather be with your wife, have that dependency that someone's there. You still get to look at a beautiful face, a nice shape, good fashion. She's sitting around the house. She's still a woman. And even if you still fight, whatever, it's still a beautiful. I don't know. It's just something about these women that just traumatizes these guys. And it does me too. But I already know the game, so I'm like, okay, fine. And I don't know, it's just interesting. So I'm just making these videos just to say, hey guys, listen, you can be in a relationship with a Japanese woman, but don't be a sucker. Do what you want. If she get mad, and tear up everything, fine. You got the job. The money should be going in your bank. She should be taking the money out of your bank. She shouldn't be taking out of your bank, everything, and putting it in her bank. It shouldn't be like that. You guys need to get that control back. Well, you tell me what you need, because some guys do that. They tell their wives what they need. The wives tell them what they need. They go get that money, and that's it. And they control. And if their wives are working, then because the wives aren't telling these guys what they're making. They're not using their money on the guys. They're using it for the kids and themselves, and that's it. And a husband's supposed to do that too. But it's her money is her money. Your money is your money, and stuff. And there are different cases, especially these guys that got their own business, especially English businesses, and their wives helping them, get bigger and grow and stuff. And they start making all these hundreds, whatever dollars they're making, a month, a year. They get bigger and bigger and making all this money and stuff. And these women are just boss, and you can tell who's having fun and who's not having fun. You can tell. Just walk and talk to them. They can, and I've talked to a bunch of guys who are working and their wives are working too, and the romance is just not there. But it's just something about just being with the Japanese woman. It's just satisfaction enough to where they can like wear a mask. But everybody know. If you're out here and you understand, you know the truth. So these videos are for them. Hey, you can, in Japan, it's well known, I don't know if it's known to the foreign guys, but it's well known in the Japanese society that the wives are out messing around. And it's well known in society that the men are messing around. My wife told me the other day that Japanese wives don't make their husbands their lovers. And I've had students talk about how they go out to dinner with their husbands and go on trips with their husbands, but they go to hotels and trips and stuff with their boyfriends too. They go overseas every year or every so many months to go visit their boyfriends in another country and showing me pictures. And I'm like, why are you guys showing me this stuff? But a lot of women, when they look at me, like I said in my videos, I go my game as far as going out and getting women like actually walking out, yo baby, what's up, blah blah blah, it's weak. You know, it's really bad. You know, and I think it's bad because I don't really go out and approach and try to talk to women for the purpose of just sex. I don't do that. I don't know why. I've never did that. Maybe when I was 17, I had a girlfriend, we broke up, and my friends were crying, said they would cry, so I just cried. 30 minutes later, I'm just asking myself, why am I crying? Because I didn't even, you know, have sex with this girl or anything, because I didn't break my virginity until I turned 20. But I'm just like, wow, you know, why am I? Yeah, so like I said, when I was 17, I understood at such a young age, you know, because I wasn't out like my other friends, you know, sleeping with other girls and stuff like that. And I understood that, you know what, it's just more or less about having fun. So when I go out and I meet women, I just go out just to have fun, engage in that day, have a good conversation, laugh and stuff, because as soon as you have sex, you know, that's like the climax. And there's nothing that's going to be better than that. So it's just a steady decline until you break up, you know. And so I understood that. So when I go out, I just go out to have fun. Now women come to me, a lot of women come to me, and then at that time, that's a decision for me to make, whether I want to do anything with them or not. But a lot of guys think, oh, you the Mac and all this stuff. Yeah, I know the game and all that stuff, but I also know, you know, you know, I'm like, I'll talk to them. They want to go eat, fine. Sometimes I'll pay, you know, whatever. But why are we going out to eat? What's the purpose? You know, what do you want to do? I just want to sit here and talk and have fun, because once you start eating, you know, then you start getting tired because of the food, you know, mentally wears you down. I mean, because you start getting full and your blood leaves your brain, and you know, all that scientific stuff, you know. And then you can have good conversations, but I'm a good listener, so I just listen. So they have fun, you know, talking and stuff. Then they might take me out to these different places, you know, that they've been to 1,000 times and have fun and stuff, because they're like a tour guide. You know, and I'm making it seem like it's boring, or something like that. But I've been through this a whole bunch of times, even in the States and stuff like that. And I understand, you know, what's going on, because they already know, you know, guys already know when a woman looks at you, you know, how long do you think it takes for her to determine whether she's going to do anything with you or not. And a lot of guys say within a few seconds. We already know that. So why go through all that? We just cut through the chase and say, hey, you know, what do you want to do? And then some women just want to talk. Some women just want to go to dinner. Some women just want to do this. So it's always good to know, you know, what you want to do. You know, they already know what they want to do, so why guess? You know, and that's another thing too. He said they already know what they want from you, you know, and they just probably want to talk, or they just want to go out to dinner, or they just want to be with the guy, you know, for whatever, long time or short time or whatever. But it's always good to understand, what do they want, you know. And again, me and my wife got married because she got pregnant. That was it. Other than that, we wouldn't be married. We already understand that. We have our problems and stuff like that, but they're pretty much minor, just, you know, stupid stuff. And that's what these videos are about, you know. So a lot of you guys out there, if you think that these videos are talking bad about Japanese women, they're not. You know, Japanese women, you know, if they were to go around and tell women how they do it, this world would be different. You know, it would be different. It would be different, you know. But the whole thing is, from what I really truly believe, that a lot of the foreign guys come out here and either they just already are weak, or they've been made weak. They don't have any real self-discipline, as in controlling their own lives or their own destination. how can I say, you know, when someone else tells them to do something. So in other words, these women, they're skilled in persuading guys to just go dumb and go limp mentally, you know. So, and it's a good thing. I mean, I laugh, you know. My wife, she does things too, and sometimes I laugh. Of the women I've been with, you know, this one I know, well, I used to date anyway, but I know her still, and she gets on my nerves, you know. And I'm like, I mean, I get on my nerves, but she got on my nerves. But sometimes she'll mail me, say these things, and I'm like, you know, why you even talk to me? You know, why don't you find your boyfriend? You know, somebody else, the Japanese guy or something, another foreigner. But you know, I'm the only foreigner she ever spoke to, and she know Japanese women. I mean, not Japanese women, but Japanese guys are not going. Oh man, I'm going the wrong way. Gosh. She already know that Japanese guys are not going to deal with her. You know, so if I like whenever she mail or call me or whatever, if I don't talk to her, the only guys that's going to talk to her, the guys that might whistle at her occasionally, you know, once a month on the streets, or the guys that she work with. Other than that, you know, she's gonna be just by herself out in Umeda like a lot of women are, and they just walking around, you know, trying to find something to do, or just pretend like doing, you know, look like they go in these shops by themselves and they lonely and they want to be with somebody, but they don't know how to talk to someone, or they don't want to talk to someone, or it might be some kind of shame to talk to somebody or whatever. But they're not fooling no one. Everyone knows. I mean, everyone who understands already knows, you know, what to do. But you talk to them, and that's why I said, you know, you guys go out there, engage the Japanese woman, engage them all, you know. But remember, they already have their agenda. They already know what they want from you. You know, what do you want from them? You know, what do you want from them? You know, and what they want from you is that American dream, you know, but in Japan, they want to be like their friends who got lucky and married a rich guy, or, you know, and she's controlling everything. They driving around, all of them got their own Mercedes. When they all go out to eat, the husband and wife drive their own car, you know, or all the kids got Mercedes and BMWs or Bentleys or whatever, you know, they're taking trips around the world. Girls, you know, they out doing their thing, meeting guys, you know, trying to meet some guy. Hey, I want to see you. They got money, so, you know, traveling around the world to them, it's like going to driving to the local, you know, convenience store. You know, when you have money, it just turns everything. It's, you know, it just really changed the ratio with a lot of things. So, wow. Okay, what is she doing? I have no idea. But a lot of people have different views. You know, I met this one girl who I knew, you know, she just told me how she just traveled around the world, met these guys sending me pictures and stuff. I meet guys who send me pictures of the girls they go out and do things. So we all, I mean, you know, we all humans, we all pretty much like the same things, you know. But these videos are basically just saying, guys, you know, you gotta keep, if you don't have control of your life, get control of your life, because the only thing your wife can do is divorce you or get mad at you. You know, if you got your business in her name because you don't want to pay taxes and you divorce it, and you pretty much fucked. So you just got to stay there and whatever. I don't know. You know, it's for the American guys. I don't know about other countries. If it's in your name and she want to bounce, give her money, whatever. You know, because I've spoken to a lot of guys and I tell them how they are. These guys don't believe me, and it happens. You know, but it's not. But what I'm saying is, it's not the Japanese woman's fault, okay? Because you even have women out here who got their own money, and they'll date you, and they'll give you money, you know. You know, they give you $50, $30, $1 million, whatever. You know, you got women out here that's like that. They might not marry you, you know, because they're busy making their money and everything, but they'll give you the money. You know, there's some women out here that'll sleep with you. You know, and what else? What else? I mean, how you say the players and everybody want? They want money. They want sex, and they want to have fun. Okay, and it seems like a lot of guys can do it being single. A lot of women can do it being single. But you just got these group of guys who just want to do it while married, and it's hard, you know. And in Japan, it's hard. Okay, and even in the States, I mean, you see a lot of these rich guys being with these women. They make all this money, and then all of a sudden their wives divorce them. Why they divorcing? They got all the money. You know, it could be a lot of other reasons. I don't know. You know, because people really don't talk about why they want to marry and stuff like that, or stuff like that. I don't know. It's just weird. But anyway, I'm getting tired of talking about it. But these videos are saying that these Japanese women out here, all these women that you meet out here, they are doing, in my opinion, they're doing exactly what they are supposed to be doing. That's what they're doing. Exactly what they're supposed to be doing. Okay? But the men out here, you guys are slipping. You guys are messing up. Okay? You guys are messing up. Some of you wives force you into marrying them. Some of your wives, you force them to marry you. All kinds of reasons, you know, because they already understand the marriage life in Japan, and they want something better. And if they can marry you and you speak English, bam, that's money for them. They can make money. Once you know, if a lot of these women can make their own money, Japan population probably wouldn't even be what it is now. You know what I'm saying? It's probably the same in America. You know, a lot of these women marry because of this quote-unquote American dream and stuff. But if a lot of people had their own money, you know, and can support themselves, things would change. So, but like I said, these videos are just basically for you guys. This particular video is for you guys who think I'm talking bad about Japanese women. I am not. Japanese women are doing what they're supposed to be doing. These videos are for you guys because there are a lot of guys out here who are going through some mental issues, drinking and I mean, it's just a trip. You know, just going through a lot of mental issues with these women, and they don't know what to do. And I guess because they just fell in love, or I don't know. I mean, just kind of reminds me of the talk I had with a lot of brothers about you know, this mental, that what white people did, this mental slavery, you know, even though we're not how can I say that? Even though we're not in physical slavery, they say we're in mental slavery. And pretty much in Japan, a lot of these guys turn into some, you know, they are mentally enslaved. So it's interesting. But no, these videos are not in any way about you know, talking bad about Japanese women. These women, in my book, they the fucking Mac. Okay, and they doing what they doing. And if you just sit back and watch, I mean, it's so surreal that it's comical, I guess. I mean, it's real. This is like unbelievable. It's just like really comical, you know, to see what's going on. And you just sit back and laugh, you know, because I mean, it's a trip, because you ask your friends, hey, if you were to meet a woman in the United States that was like your wife or your girlfriend, would you date her? And see how many of them guys would say no. You know, and it's interesting. But these videos are not bad about Japanese women. They cool. I go to the mall again. But it's about this mall got a lot of people, and it's really cool too. But anyway, it's about you guys, you know, out there who want to come out here, because if you don't have your pimpology, which is all about management in real life, you know. If you don't have a degree or any knowledge, one-on-one in psychology, self-control, what it is to be a man, what it is to follow your own dreams, follow your own thoughts and stuff like that, then you're gonna have a lot of problems in Japan. And some guys get so messed up that they really don't even come out of it. It's hard. But anyway, I'm done. Peace.